right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Damage Control. This is Mookie, joined with Darth and some on chat with Twitch. So we'll implement some of our Twitch streamers here with any comments that they have. But again, welcome to another episode. We're going to be breaking down Cosmic Crucible. And I have some videos I want to go ahead and share with you guys, just kind of showing what worked, what didn't work for me this past week. And just learn together as we go in and just start kind of trying to figure out all the different counters and things that we normally got to do here with our matchups. And so stay tuned. It's going to be kind of, I don't want to like overly keep going at DeathSeed and trying to figure out these counters, but I mean, that's been my own personal thing that I've been dealing with. So I'll briefly talk about that, and we'll look into some gameplay with Masters of Evil and just kind of what they potential counters that you can start using them with as well. All right, so stay tuned to all of that. And let's go, Darth. And let me go ahead and reintroduce you, Darth. How did you do last week? I mean, I know you just mentioned it right now, but just for the recording aspect, I mean,
let's say it again. I went 0-3 for my first time ever. I got my butt kicked all week long.
Yeah, man, and I'm sorry to hear that. It's definitely frustrating. I've been there before, but I think it's even uber more frustrating. Like, because did it drop you down that level, or are you still Masters?
I'm hanging on to Masters.
Oh,
I got to go 2-1 next week, which is totally doable. Especially after coming down and having my whatever get hammered last week. I'm sure that'll be hopefully a few easier appointments. But for the battles, opponents. That's what I meant. But I mean, so the pond that I currently occupy up there, I'm a very small fish in a great big pond. So occasionally there's going to be an apex predator or 3 apex predators that come and eat me, which is kind of what happened this week. There is no excuse, but they were all big punch-ups, and I saw more 7 red brand new characters than I've ever seen in a week of Cosmic Crucible. So I was very frustrated. You and Dell got a couple messages in our chat about me crying about seeing so many huge toons and being tired of it and just wanting to be able to feel like I'm actually going to win a match instead of have everyone be like, oh no, it's a coin flip right here. That if that character goes, I'm going to die. So I had a rough week, not as fun as you. But that being said, still love Cosmic Crucible. Still my very favorite game mode. And I can't wait for it to start this week.
Just to give you guys perspective or what's going on with Darth, I mean, he is in the Masters, and he's right in the same pond. And maybe he feels just as you do, being a small fish there, and that's with mobile. So I know you're within a few rankings next to him overall. So that's just a perspective to kind of understand when you see him, meaning mobile, kind of show his Cosmic Crucible and those red stars, and he's like, oh my God, look at this red star. That's exactly what Darth is coming from too. So I know I don't know what to say about that, man. I mean, I guess be careful be careful what you wish for is maybe what I should think about a little bit. I mean, I want to be in that same pond there, and I still want to go ahead and, if anything, I'll just add to the revolution of the small fishes trying to overtake the bigger ones or something. So where is my... But I mean, it is all within the game, man. It's all fun, right? I mean, it's definitely a test. It's definitely a test.
I said I may whine and cry about it, but the challenge is the fun part. Would Cosmic Crucible be fun if I outranked all of my opponents by 10 million points? I don't think it would be as fun for me. If I could easily walk in and one-shot all of my opponents' teams every time without thinking about it, even taking in weird new counters that shouldn't work, and just walking through it because my characters are so overpowered. Like, I don't think that would be as much fun. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to try it out, but I don't think it would be as much fun as and I know that the feeling of accomplishment wouldn't feel so good knowing that I'm holding at least in Masters 1, or I'm pumping towards Masters 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm on the fringe, so I went 2-1. If I would have got that third victory, I would have jumped back up to the Diamond 3, because after that whole reset, we all kind of dropped down. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now. Now, overall within the week, here's the screenshots that I took in regards to first day matchups. I've been successfully able to clear rooms. This one in particular, I was able to one-shot each one. and just kind of breaking it down, starting with the bottom. This is the usual one that you're going to start seeing. It's Dark Code taking on the Wakandans. Now his Wakandan, he threw in that Dormammu. I don't know if have you done that or faced that one yet, Darth? Dorm.
I've not seen that. From everything I've heard, that is not the optimal lineup. Like, it is a full Wakandan team is what you want there.
Yeah, it takes away the synergy, basically, with the whole different kind of buffs that they share with each other. So it wasn't overwhelming. As you can see, I was able to knock it out. I probably was on the fringe of having all 5 healthy, but Scarlet is my weakest character and she got targeted. But anyways, and really the key off of that one, I mean, I just, re-summarizing for those that may not know, but the real trick off of it is when you have Morgan start off, it's not using her ultimate, it's actually using her basic and stealing the buffs. That's really the key thing to make it easier when you face them. I mean, would you agree with that? I mean, have you noticed that, Darth?
Oh, 100%. No, you need to basic with Morgan on her first turn, and you need to try to steal buffs from. Let's see, for me, it's usually OG Black Panther.
Yes.
And then you need to, and usually at that point the buffs get reapplied, but then you need to basic with Agatha into Black Panther as well. And if you have it set up right, Morgan will assist, and then she'll definitely pull the buff so that by the time their Black Panther goes, he doesn't have that offense up anymore. He doesn't have speed up anymore, and he's a hell of a lot less dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Take away those offensive boosts whenever you can off OG Black Panther. And then the second one right here, this is what I've been playing with. I do have a video of this one right here. I don't know if you're interested in that or if you're done seeing the whole DeathSeed, but
I'm always. Oh, that's my Oh no, yeah, I would be interested in seeing that. That's not the worst.
all right.
Like, that's up to you. That's up to you, my guy.
Yeah, now we'll do it. We'll definitely do it. I guess I'll recap everything on day one before I jump into the video. But then over here, this is kind of the setup that they had in stage 4, where they chose to use the uncanny with the Dad Bros as all part of that mutant boost. And I just went ahead and I used this counter like a speed type counter. I almost got wiped out, man. You can almost see that there. But it was where I had control of it all. I don't know what happened as far as why I was on the fringe, but
He took a great big ult from Bishop, it looks like, and it almost wiped.
Yeah, and I know I have that recorded probably, but not that interesting.
Either way, like, that's, they're Axemen aren't quite what they are without that Age of X boost.
Yeah. And then there's Infinity Watch, which I was talking about previously, about a team I'm working on. And as you can see, there's the counter that I used against this particular team was Rebirth with Zemo. So what they threw in on stage 3, they put Zemo with the Fortifier. There's a bunch of Fortifiers out there with Sharon and Captain America. But that was an easy one. And then on 2, this is where you kind of start seeing a lot of people using their Asgardians because they got them all built up for the Scourges. So they kind of tend to throw them up on, stages from 1 and 2, even in previous weeks. But I've been using this Bionic Avenger counter. Stowed, I'm not sure if this is something Mobile did, but I saw him in one of his gameplays a few weeks back, even on the previous season of Cosmic. And it's a pretty good, easy counter. I mean, I like it. And I don't even have, I feel like I don't have my Bio Avengers all the way built up. There's some people that have the teal gear on them. So I haven't done that yet. So even with this, what is it, G15 that I have them at, they're able to go ahead and take on that squad. And there's the new, I started trying to figure out like more play and how I'm going to start using this Masters of Evil. So I've been teaming them up a little bit here with Undying. I was filling in the next 2 spots, and I took out, and they are an easy matchup against Young Avengers. So we'll start off with that one. I'll show the video within just so that people can kind of start seeing Masters of Evil. Obviously, I probably don't have it down to a perfect T yet, but it is something that I am trying to work with. So let me see. Let me try to find the video. All right, but here's that Young Avengers all tilled out. You see this the punch up right now that I'm dealing with? Because eventually it'll start creeping up, but so it is about close to like 300. Between 300 to 400k punch up on this one right here against, and they put in Shang. I don't know if that is more difficult or not. I think it is in regards to replacing Chavez with Shang. So
30% health boost or something like that. That's the one nice thing on that team that America Chavez provides.
yeah, so but then of course he gets more attacks thrown in there, so it's give and take. But yeah, really the whole theory behind this squad is that you got Zim and you got Titania with ability blocks, and that's where I'm going to start focusing on. And of course, you're going to throw it into Scroll Girl. Still double checking, I don't know why, but it's a new team for me, so you're going to see me still highlight the abilities. But yeah, it's targeting Scroll Girl. But what's throwing me off a little bit is that Titania and Cosmic Crucible, it should be a 2-turn ability block. I think one of the times it felt like it didn't happen for me, but there it's I see it kind of double highlighted, so it looks like that's stuck. And then here again, so I don't know if it's smart to throw down the bots or not, but on this one I think it is. I mean, it's not like a turn boost that they get for killing the bots.
Right. It's a turn meter removal for your target you do now because they all attack.
Correct. Yeah. So, and really what I'm waiting for is, I think the reason I was on the fence with Titania in the beginning is like, should I be putting the ability block with the Disrupt on Miss Marvel, or should I be throwing it onto Scroll Girl? To be safe, I threw it on Scroll Girl because I just didn't want her to get that speed boost on healing characters, you know, jumping right into her ultimate. So that was the decision why I put it on her first. But even then, there you go. Now, I mean, she still got what I needed on Miss Marvel. And this is all through my phone here, so you'll see some little notifications popping up. Okay, we can speed this up, kind of go through it. But I mean, you'll see. It is a long battle, and I think it's all because of the punch-up aspect of what's going on. When you have Undying off of here, it's just the Gregs are really what gets this team, you know, going a little bit as far as being able to keep getting turns in. But that was his Zim's ultimate that really took it out. And somehow I need to start just uploading this video so y'all can see it on y'all's own time to break it down. But for the show, I'll just speed through it just so you can kind of see it. Basically, I was not on the fence. Still trying to think about efficiency here on my attacks. But yeah, I took my time on all of this, and that's why I'm speeding through it. But I don't know. I mean, I guess for those who are starting building them up, I mean, I know for you, Dart, do you have an issue with Young Avengers seeing them on defense?
Not very often, and usually I can take my A-Force Doom into them, and that seems to be for me the most efficient way to take out a big Young Avengers is using the A-Force Doom combo, because usually once Doom ults, it's over.
Yeah, and I was just trying something different because so going back into what I did last on my first matchup, I kind of started with my way down all the way up. So that was my leftover characters I was kind of cleaning up with, and why I went ahead and used them there versus some other rooms. Because I still had Doom A-Force available. I just wanted to test it out. Another matchup. And this is the one, the DeathSeed versus the Tangle Web with some Undying. So what they decided to do is they have Noir out. They left 2099 with that pair with Weaver. And then they threw in the 3 Underworld characters. The key thing that I would say that I learned from last week from General, he kept talking about like the ultimate here from Beast is what you want to use. And I ended up doing that. And it really does make a difference because you start throwing out more counters. Because that whole opening, when you get counters, you start, you know, killing the other characters that are attacking you. Of course, now when you get blinded, that kind of, but you're starting to take the charges away using a counter. So that's the whole thing behind that. And the other second thing is right here, what you want to do is use the boost. Anything that you have on the characters that can boost up, like I did with Archangel, is to get the power-ups. Of course, they're missing, but I mean, they're going to stay on the characters once the charges go away.
Right.
And then the other thing we also found out is that Psylocke's ultimate is unavoidable. So it's kind of key on when you want to use it and who to use it against. So now that the charges are off, see, Weaver doesn't have any charges, now can go right into his ultimate, but he's blinded. I wonder if I noticed this or not. I probably don't notice. Let me see. Yeah, because I'm over here reading the video. I don't know. I'm trying to see what am I doing. Hopefully I noticed that I'm blinded. Yeah, so it's all missed. And here's Psylocke where she takes off all the debuffs. And I'm trying to figure out, I think I decided to just wipe out 2099. No, I went after her. But what's interesting, oh, here's the other tip. When Mobile was doing these battles and his struggle, and he's correct, when you group them all together, you know, the Weaver's going to get attacked, in which you're trying to avoid attacking her in some matchups. But over here, you see how they're like away from her? So, like, I mean, I attacked it, a Tangle Web, she still gets to boost and all. But, like, Kingpin is over here, and I think that there was another matchup that I faced against Uncanny where Beast or Bishop didn't get grouped in. And that kind of helps you get like your turn meter going with the Archangel and so forth because you're not attacking any of the Tangle Webs. So it's weird. It's actually more of a blessing that they don't get grouped next to Weaver. But yeah, so there's that. Of course, we can all digest that later. But now that you see Spider Weaver off the board, it's kind of game over at that point.
Yes.
So, all right. So second week, as we kind of look into this battle, I guess we'll start from the upper top. Stage 1. This one right here was one shot using the Eternals. And because I kind of going backwards order, so I'll start with 6, my bad. So every time when I go into the matchups, I kind of go into the stages 6, 5, and 4, 3. I work my way down. So again, there's that matchup on the bottom right that you can see, which is, again, Wakandans, right? Darkhold. Stage 4, we got the Uncanny again. So this opponent still wanted to use this setup. So I went back with that. Same setup. I was able to barely win. And then where is stage 3? Oh, I have a funky order. So stage 3 is to the left over here. So I did a Gamma versus Gamma. And that one we already kind of know too that when you do that matchup, you're just trying to avoid Red Hulk. Right. So it could be a long battle. So you're just trying to avoid their Red Hulk getting the charges and wanting yours to get hit first. Stage 2, there's the Young Avengers again. So here's the thing, like I did do the Doom A-Force on this one. And you would probably agree on this one. So the 50-50 depends on like, I don't know if I have it recorded, but they targeted away my Doom. He didn't get the ability landed on him from Jessica Jones, the energy.
No.
So I just drew dead. Like everything went bad, like RNG wise, what could go bad went bad on this one. So I canceled, and I guess I just wanted to be all for naught. I'm pretty sure I went in later, saw that I had Dormammu left over, so I threw him on there to clean up. So I was able to two-shot that one. What I did skip over was stage 5. Over here on the bottom left, this is one that my first loss, and I shared it with you. I don't know if I did it to the whole alliance, but I did have to two-shot this one. And it's because they threw in, it's just interesting what they do with the Tangle Web. Depending on what they mash them in with, this one they decided to throw in Symbiote, Spider-Man, and also Doc Ock. So Symbiote stunned one of my characters, and I want to say he stunned Magneto. And just basically they had control of turn order versus me. And then, of course, Doc Ock flipped my buffs that I'm, really relying on with the offensive ups and stuff like that, defensive ups. So he flipped everything, and that's how I lost that one. So that's a good plug-in right there, is putting Doc Ock, for potential counters with DeathSeed. But then I cleaned up, and there's that new team right there with the Zim and Masters of Evil. That it was pretty easy to walk over them, because what I did do when I died out, when I realized I was going to lose this matchup, I noticed that Weaver didn't have any of the charges on her, so I just let it time out. Right. Yeah, so I let it timed out and wait for my second matchup, and then I was able to clean up that way. But nothing there fresh to really watch. We jump over here to the last matchups, breaking it down. Same thing. There's Wakanda, there's Darkhold, stage 5. Now this is the championship round. We both went 2-0. So what was interesting about his setup is that he put his Tangle Web with the Uncanny. This is the one I was talking about where they did not group all together, and I was able to beat him. So I one shot it there. So I thought I had control because on he went first and he had to two shot two different rooms of mine. And I think the main reason being is that he put his unlimited on defense right here on stage 4, and he put his gamma on defense on stage room 1. Okay, so he didn't have his gamma counter against my unlimited, so he had to two-shot it and do something creative. But anyway, so I was looking good. I went 6, 5, 4, one shot, one shot, one shot. Go to 3, and then there's a DeathSeed counter with that Infinity Watch that we've been talking about. Got that going. Stage 2, there's Young Avengers with A-Force who worked for me. So I'm feeling confident, right? And I'm like, all right, man, here we go. Last room, Gamma. And you don't see it there, but the first team that I used, because I hadn't used them yet and they're not pictured, was that Zim and Undying. And I think part of that is my fault. I try to be creative. I was feeling myself, as they would say, thinking like, all right, I'm gonna do something fancy here. And we'll watch that battle. But I lost. And then this one right here, I think the only person I knocked out was Braun. So then I had to face, 4 of them, including Red Hulk. And I was really on the fence on who to clean up with. And I decided to go in with the Eternals, Emma, Loki, trying to get that turn going. And I just didn't get the Bang Bang Ultimate. Anyways, but yeah, we could see it. So I had to 3-shot it. I ended up losing. And this is what was my downfall, was this whole stage 1 against Gamma. So there it is. No, so I actually did something different. So I did Masters of Evil. I chose 2 of them, and then I went with Zim and Dorm to go against that Gamma. So I replaced that. I already forgot how that new guy, Absorbing Man, and I put Dormammu, thinking that would be a better success because I wanted to get a stun. And I think I probably could have won this matchup. I think I'm pretty sure that I misplayed it. 2 things. I wasn't being mindful about avoiding Red Hulk with some of these spread attacks. And I never, or maybe I just didn't get the chance, but I don't know who to put the ability block here. I thought that would be good to put it on OG Hulk first, but then it went away. I didn't realize that Braun takes it off his passive. Yeah, he cleared it. So now there I am. I'm stuck with the taunt either way. And then I'm just like, well, shit. Let's see if I can speed it up just a tad bit. Because, this is a whole 5-minute match here. See, I really wanted this stun to land on She-Hulk. That's who I wanted to get on, and I was hoping not to be stuck behind his taunt. But there I am. And then there goes Ultron. Ultron's gone. So it's 4v5 at this point, unless you want to include Greg as the 5th. But here's the spread. I couldn't get the bleeds out there. Every time, like this whole matchup for me with She-Hulk was the thorn. Because as soon as I start thinking that I got bleeds going out there, she does her passive ability. And just, or once she gets her charges up, she just throws it right back at me. There it is. All removed. So I need to figure out, maybe there's a different 5th combo or something that I need to do with making sure that she's stunned and that she's just there. Because as long as this battle's going on, and as much as like she just starts throwing stuff back at me, there's Red Hulk's charges building, slowly building, and eventually, he pops off on me. And then once that, he said like, here, it's like, okay, spread attack. Oh, had another charge right by accident. Boom. And that's game over. So, but it's interesting, right? Overall, I don't know, as you're watching it, Darth.
I think it is interesting. Like, I like that you're brave enough to go out and do some tests and stuff like that. I feel that in my testing with the Masters of Evil, I feel they need Kang super bad. I feel they're just a half step
Yes.
too slow to do what they need to do fast enough for what I'm trying to get them to do, and the punch ups I'm trying to get them to do.
Yeah,
So,
look, there's another strip. She
um,
got rid of the pleats again on me.
God,
Even when I was thinking, I was like, oh, I get his Orby Man. Boom, throw him back. But yes, I think Kang is the biggest difference. I think right now, with all of this, the lesson learned is that Absorber Man isn't the answer to like get them going. Titania is amazing. Ultron's still weak, so that fifth red star, as you start looking into his event coming up, that's going to be huge. You know, getting 5 reds on him. Maybe he'll be on the field longer because now he just keeps falling off. But but yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting, and I think that would be potentially a counter. I want to say that Big Mac on our line said he countered Gamma.
he did, and I'm trying to. I think he did Dorm,
I
and
think
I
Doom
remember
was
who else he
there.
put on that team.
Yeah, pretty
That
sure.
there were some other beefy characters with it, but yeah, he said Red Hulk never even took a turn.
Yeah. So last takes on the whole Cosmic Crucible things here, Darth. As we transition, we kind of go out. You mentioned something, and that's kind of what I want to close with. Is just kind of moving forward. We'll start off with you because you're in a more difficult area. The nuisance that you're dealing with, is it going to be like the Tangle Web teams? Like, what's your, I guess, what's the problem that you think that you need to have? If you think you need to go more offensive now and start pulling some of the guns offensively to counter? Is
That
that
is the number one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull my Tangled Web off of offense and create a couple other pretty gross defense teams, and I think that will free up enough on me for offense to take just about anything out. It's not that I can't take a Tangled Web out now, but a 2-tap is costing me. And if I have to go in and 2-tap it, it's costing me the match every time. So, and I use my DeathSeed against great big, what are they calling? Hydro World. It's the big three from Underworld plus Zemo and Red Skull.
mm-hmm.
And so that's that is what I'm using my DeathSeed for, and it's a super efficient match, and it nets me a lot of points.
Mm.
And again, I'm not brave like you. I can't take my 1.1 million DeathSeed in against a 1.3 million Tangled Web team. I just don't feel that that's gonna work for me.
Yeah.
And maybe it would. Maybe it's me being a coward.
We'll see. Well, you can let me test. I'll continue and continue sharing because I think it really
Oh,
is on what they feel to Tango Web Whip, and that kind of goes back to Linkstar's question. He was asking about this particular room. It was stage 5 for the Tango Web that I have on the bottom left. So like right there, see they threw in Doc Ock, and that's where I gotta get to be mindful of, right? It's like, yep, my boost and stuff like that ain't gonna work against this combination. But as you saw in the other two Tangled Web, where is it at? Maybe they didn't do on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah. So I was able to do the Underworld team. That was okay. So that's where I'm gonna be more mindful of. It's just who they're filling in with, and then with the uncanny over here on the right, you know. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's fun. I mean, the whole thing is right. It makes us kind of go back to the drawing board each week, trying to figure out, plug and play pieces to do. My overall thinking that I want to do offensively is like I like what I have right now in my pocket, and I'm comfortable with leaving unlimited on defense. I'm comfortable with leaving Tangled Web on defense. And I started to try to do this out. I think they may have got me some victories. Actually, I know they did. Throwing in the Weapon X. Now, the fear, and I started thinking about it as I went through my second battle. It's like, damn, I don't have that Gamma counter now. I don't have Omega Red with, Doom and Star-Lord. And I realized that. So then that's when I was like, well, hopefully my Tangle Web can go ahead and, not my Tangle Web, I'm sorry. I was like, well, hopefully my Masters of Evil can do something because I know what happened with Big Mac, and maybe I can be just as lucky. And sure enough, on my championship round, that's what you saw and witnessed, that I did not have the proper counter yet for Gamma. Because really the easy counter is Gamma versus Gamma, but, it's if this, then that, right? So Gamma I use for Unlimited X is where I threw them at to beat this team. So... anyways, I mean, it's fun. I mean, we can keep theorizing it all. I feel like I'm going around in circles, so I'm going to go ahead and pause and just stop it there. So, well, with that all being said, hopefully you guys learned something from some of those videos there. I'll condense it down for the YouTube channel, folks. And and we'll just continue to learn, and we'll catch up on, see how we're doing. Better luck to, both of us. Definitely for you, Darth. I don't like seeing you frustrated. So
It'll happen. It's what it is.
yeah, but definitely, good luck to everybody else and that are all going through this and having fun with Crucible. We'll give you an update next Sunday. Stay tuned for that, and enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Y'all take it easy. Bye bye.